No1 Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jake. Happy New Year. Thank you, David Nolan. What's up, Nate Hinkson? Looking good, and Happy New Year, cuz. Thanks, David Nolan. I appreciate it, man. Good to see you, bro. I hoping to see you very soon. Saw your folks when I dropped your my mom off at your folks' house. They had a good time. Anyway, Johnny Colon, what's up? Not this Mexican. What is up, people? Happy New Year, as ever. Hit me up in the chat. Love to say hey. Did I tell you guys? Did I say this yesterday? So we ran for the group of people that I work with in the Cardone space. So this is really 2022 is really my first year. I signed on at the very end of 2021. But I really didn't get going with it until 2022, this year. And it was a great year. Produced a ton for them. Ended up being invited to be a Grant Cardone elite coach, which was super cool. And then they did the licensee awards, which is all of us. There's about 400 of us. And I came in number 2. Yes, I know my name is number 1, so number 1 is in my sights for next year. But my first year, I came in second as second place as coach. So I'm pretty excited about that. It bodes well. So I want to also, today is New Year's. So I got my trusty Oban. I don't know if you guys are Scotch nerds. This is my particular favorite Scotch. So I'm going to pop this open. Happy New Year, Solange, all that stuff to you guys. Pour myself a shot. Got my Scotch glass. And we are a go. Happy New Year's to all you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Love me some Oban. That is like the best Scotch. I don't know if you guys drink Scotch. Nate Hinkson. It does not surprise me you're one of Grant's top students. I'm number 2. Oh, I'm so close. Drives me nuts, dude. But I'm happy. I'm happy, right? Like if you started a competition your first year and you came in second, you know that this is coming. You know it's coming, dude. You just got to keep going. So I appreciate that, Nate. Yeah, dude, number 1 in 2003. So what are you guys doing? I want to talk today about resolution, the word, right? Because everybody throws this fucking word around right now and they don't know what the hell it even means. So do not cheat. Don't cheat. Do this on your honor. What is the definition of resolution? Just think about the word. You could probably come up with a great meaning for the word, right? What is resolution? Resolution on your screen. When you have good resolution, what does that mean when you have a good resolution on your screen, right? So what does that mean for you to have a good resolution? Well, I want to go over the meaning of the words. As ever, man, I like to get into the weeds. I don't just go for the definition. I go for the etymological meaning, which is the history of the definition, how it's changed over time. So again, I'm at my trusty online etymological dictionary. What's it called? Online etymology dictionary. It's ETYM online. Etym online. Resolution, a noun from the 14th century. Dude, we're in the 20th century, 600 years ago. A breaking or reducing into parts, process of breaking up or dissolution. From the Old French word, resolution from the 14th century, directly from the Latin, resolutionem, process of reducing things into a simpler form. Noun of action from past participle stem of resolvere, to loosen. Interesting. So a reduction, a dissolution, reducing into parts. Okay? Does it make sense now? when you have a New Year's resolution, you're setting yourself up to loosen up the old boundaries, the old ways you are. Dissolution of the old ways. Break it down, okay? Now, from the notion of process of resolving or reducing a non-material thing into simple forms from the 14th century, as a method of problem solving comes from the sense of solving, as in mathematical problems. That started in the 1540s, as is that of power of holding firmly, character of acting with fixed purpose. So in the 14th century, the word was really about breaking things down, dissolving. But by the 1540s, we see it beginning to mean the power of holding firmly or acting with a fixed purpose. Does that make sense? The meaning steadfastness of purpose comes by the 1580s. The meaning of an effect of an optical instrument in rendering component parts of objects distinguishable is 1860. So the idea of resolution on your screen, for example, like I brought up, did not cut a clarity, sharpness, vividness, didn't come until the 1860s. Okay? Mid-15th century, it also meant a frame of mind, often implying a pious, like holy or moral determination. By the 1580s, as a statement upon some matter, hence formal decision or expression of a meeting or assembly, that's circa 1600s. New Year's resolution in reference to a specific intention to better oneself is from at least the 1780s. Okay? Got it? All right. What's up, Brandon? Brandon Williams says, let's go on YouTube. Let's go, dude. What's up, my dude? So let me hear some of your New Year's resolutions. That's what I would like to do. I will read them. But if you do, like all you guys up in the chat, I see you. What's up, L Perfect Perkins? What's up, Kendo Jedi? Disco Distance. What's up, Justin? What are your resolutions? Okay. Let's get them out there, man. Let's start making them real. What are your resolutions for 2023? Are they to be number one? Like me? I want to be number one, man. I want to be number one. Period. And I try. I was the first to create the mace, the steel mace. I was the first to recreate catch as catch can as a true sport. The sport of professional wrestling, not the exhibition, not the theater, the sport, true. Shoot pro wrestling, king of catch wrestling, scientific wrestling. One of the first people to graduate with a master's degree in financial engineering. Way back in 2002 when that shit just started. What do you want to be number one? I'm number two with number one in my sights. All right, Nate Hinkson, he says, I want to become the undisputed world's deadliest man in hand-to-hand combat. All right. So I'm assuming that hand-to-hand combat, what do you mean? Do you mean military applications? Let's get specific. Let's get some resolution. Let's get some clarity here, Nate. Do you mean like a Marine, like a Green Beret, Special Forces, Navy SEALs, like going in? You're saying deadliest, so you want to go kill? Like, I'm trying to be clear here, man. Oh, we got Brandon Williams being honest. Appreciate it. I don't even have any resolutions. Now, here's what I will say. I will say this. Oh, wait. Now we got a challenge. We're going to get some fighting going on here. Brandon Williams says, got to beat me first, Nate. So, I'm not going to get down on people that don't have resolutions for New Year's, but you need to have goals. You need to have goals. And I really do want to break this word down, right? So if we look at resolution, what does it come from, right? Resolute. To be resolute in something. What does that mean? What does that mean when you're resolute? So I'm going to look at that right now. That definition says, early 15th century, dissolved of loose structure, also morally lax. Interesting. That's interesting. However, it changed in the early 15th century, but later in the 15th century, it became determined, decided, absolute, and final, such as in the phrase resolute answer. So what does it mean? A resolution. It means to be resolute. It means to be determined. It means to be decided, absolute, final. What is that going to be? What are you going to be absolute? What are you going to be determined to do? Well, I mean, we could start. The thing is that I don't like about New Year's resolutions is that people just like think about this shit one day a year, if that. I literally think about my goals 2 times every day. I try to. Sometimes I forget, I'm going to be honest. But I try to write my goals in the morning when I wake up and at night when I go to sleep. And they're big goals. But that's how I achieve because it stays at the front of my mind. My mind, by doing that, I'm protected from distraction, right? And we live in a world of distraction, man. So would you rather be determined, resolute, have resolutions, or would you rather be distracted and all over the fucking place? What do you want to get done? Let's just do that. Let's not even put a time frame on it. So Nate says he wants to be the world's deadliest man, undisputed. Brandon doesn't have any. Come on, guys. You got to have some resolutions, man. So let's think. So Nate, you want to be the world's deadliest man. What are you going to have to do? When is your deadline for that? Right? When are you going to do this? Have you already started? Have you started? These are all relevant questions, especially for tonight. So, one of the things that we do usually with our kids, Nate Hickson says, I want to learn some of the Billy. Dude, come on, man. He wants to learn some of the Billy Robinson material. Let's go, bro. Dude, that shit will make you deadly. And Billy was rough, dude. He came up in a rough time. Had his dad was a champion street fighter, and his uncle was a champion boxer and wrestler. And he knew all this nasty stuff too. Like he said when his dad told him when he was young, when he was walking, he said, take a number 2 pencil with the hard lead, sharpen it, keep it in your pocket. Oh, Ryu Ken. Bonjour, coach. What's up, man? My French is not good, but bonjour. Ryu Ken. Happy to see it out on YouTube. He would take this sharpened number 2 pencil and keep it in his pocket. He said, anybody who messes with you, take the pencil out, sharpen, super sharp, poke them in the eye, poke them in the face. They won't mess with you anymore. Brilliant. Super tough. He has this other stuff for when you're in a bar and the guy's next to you and bugging you how to block him off. He used to teach us all kinds of crazy shit. You need to come out to one of the camps, Nate. Come out to Coach and Catch, the Accelerator Camp. What's up, Matt Mullen? Happy New Year to you and your fabulous wife. I can't wait to see you and Mira soon. Yeah, I should give a shout out to Justin. What's up, my people? So what are your resolutions for 2023? What are your resolutions? You know one of mine right now. I was number 2, so fucking close. And I want to be number 1 in the Grant Cardone ecosystem. I also have another goal in scientific wrestling. Okay. 2 main goals that I want to accomplish this year. Cheers to you guys. I hope you guys can help me with it. Number 1 is I would like to get 100 affiliate gyms from scientificwrestler.com, our affiliate fight gym program. We just launched it in the spring. It's only 9 months old. We already got 11 affiliates. Very proud of that. I'd like to get to 100. That means for me to do that, I need to almost do what I did in my first year every month. So I'm going to need you guys' help. I'm going to obviously be blasting, turning up the marketing. Oh man, everybody's blowing me up right now. Let's catch up. Okay, so we got out on YouTube, we got Robin says, I want to gain balance of self, grappling work, spiritual, which means meditation, consistent practice, and continue to read and grow. All right. I don't know, man. The word balance just fucking triggers me because, and I think that's a noble goal. I just maybe would, if I may, I personally would tweak it. I would say I want to seek an integration of self. Integrate grappling, work, spiritual meditation, consistent practice, and continue to read and grow. The reason I say this is that, and cheers to you. Thank you for sharing. I would say that this idea of work-life balance, in my mind, makes people think. To me, it's the analogy of like, you ever see those guys spinning plates? And yeah, the plates are balancing, but fuck, dude, that's hard to do. Meanwhile, if I integrate, like this is what I've done. I used to try to go for work-life balance, or whatever the fuck that means. But now I go for integration. So, for example, I have set, we do vacations with my kids as often as possible. And so we've got one in March, taking my kids out to Carlsbad. We have a fantastic timeshare right across from the PCH. Listen, like you cross PCH and you're on the beach. It's unreal, man. It's so like unbelievable. We've been going there for years. But that same week, I also have a training camp down in San Diego. Makes sense? So now I've integrated it. Guess what? I can write off a bunch of it. I could do these other things, not the entirety of it, but while I'm there, that stuff and my flights and whatnot. So anyway, I just saw my buddy Adam Underhill. Something popped up. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Happy New Year. So he's all the way out in the UK, and he's a world traveler, man. That guy's got a James Bond lifestyle. So yeah, noble. I love it. I love all those things: grappling work, spiritual meditation, read and grow. Love all that, dude. I would just try to figure out how can I integrate all that together in one thing. Let's go. Who else we got? Oh, what's up, man? Chris Spalding, dude, my brother. Happy New Year, Jay. Keep killing it. Thank my friend. Can't wait to see you again. Let's see here. Man, everybody's blowing up. Blowing up. Damn. I can't keep up. So Ryu Ken says, resolution, become certified catch wrestling coach. Let's go, brother. Let's go. Coachingcatch.com, dude. I just put up all the new ads. Hope you like them. They're pretty cool. I made them myself. The red and black with the wrestler doing the double wrist lock takeover. It's pretty cool. You can check it out on Instagram, Facebook. Let's see. Sterling Willis, Happy New Year to all the grapplers. Yeah, dude. Happy New Year, man. What is your goal, Sterling? What's your resolution this year? Ryu, I don't own a gym, but I teach morning wrestling class 2 days per week. Awesome, dude. Definitely get certified, man. We will ramp your shit up, dude. Because not only, obviously, do we have the very best wrestling curriculum. Dude, fight me. I don't give a shit. We have the best wrestling curriculum, period. Catch as catch can for Billy Robinson, Carl Gotch. You don't get any better than that. You just fucking don't. Straight from the source, too. Not like, oh, my coach's coach, supposedly, even though Carl never mentioned them because all he mentioned was Fujiwara and Suzuki, really, honestly. But like I said, our grappling is catch as catch can for Billy Robinson and Carl Gotch. Our folk style is Wade Chalice, Guinness World Record for the most wins and pins in all of wrestling. Our MMA, we've got Frank Shamrock and Josh Barnett chiming in, dude. Like, look out, man. Best in the world, dude. Let's see here. Robin says, I dig it. It fits. I don't even know. That's probably so long ago. I'm so sorry. Nate Hinkson, who's the best active scientific wrestler 2022? Oh, shit, dude. Now you're going to knock me off my pivot. Active, dude. I'd have to look, man. Well, we crowned Jacoby Jones, middleweight champion for Shoe Pro. We had a couple good guys with the Arizona Catch Wrestling Championships, King Catch Wrestling down in Arizona. That's a very good question, dude. That's a really good question. Of 2022. Oh, man, that's hard to say. I mean, we had Victor Henry up on the UFC. Man, that's a great question. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about that one. Brandon Williams says, I want to see catch can blow up, man. I like what you're doing. We need to become bigger. Dude, I'm working, dude. Help me. You're on the same mission, dude. You can jump off. Your starting point could be where I'm already at. You understand that? Scientific Wrestler, let me throw this up for you guys. This affiliate program, I just put up a blurb, in fact, where Frank Shamrock totally put us over, guys. Okay. Nate Hinkson, what is your best coach? Dude, we got a lot of great coaches. That's very difficult to say. Jesse Merez up in Sacramento, he's doing amazing. Sam Crescen's amazing. Wade Chalice, obviously. Dude, we got a lot of guys. Gil Alalas. It's hard to say, man. You're asking actually really good questions. Let's see what else we got here. Sterling Willis, catch can is the best wrestling ever. I agree, dude. The thing is, people get bummed out because I do speak frankly. And Billy says the same thing. The catch can is the greatest combat sport martial art the world's ever seen. I agree 100%. And I actually make a deeper argument that it's actually probably the most influential, most impactful sport, not just combat sport of all time. And I could quantify it. If you were to tell me, this would be actually difficult to quantify. I've worked as a statistician, so the data sometimes would be hard. But just think about the sheer numbers here. Every fan, athlete, coach, and business person associated with catch can right now. Add those into the pile. That's one pile. Every coach, athlete, fan, and business promoter involved with folk style wrestling just in the U.S., high school and college. That's another pile because folk style is amateur catch can. Now, 118 years of Olympic freestyle, which is again amateur catch can. All the fans, athlete, coaches, and promoters. Okay. Now let's add in all the fans, athletes, coaches, and promoters in professional wrestling. Another dude, fucking massive, dude. Okay. And we crush it every time. The actual practitioners are small. It's hard. But look, Imanari, y'all talking about Imanari, you think that's fucking BJJ and all his leg locks? He started at the Fujiwara dojo. I don't know what to tell you, man. There's an article on an old MMA.tv where this Sambo coach is like, all of Sambo's leg locks originally came from catch can. Hate to break it to you. Massive. Now you can add in Sambo. You can add in, dude, it's huge. And for us at Scientific Wrestling, catch can is the core. Then we have, again, folk style by Wade Chalice, the greatest pinner ever. A little bit of Greco-Roman for our takedowns, a little bit of judo, and definitely a lot of understanding of jiu-jitsu, not from an offensive standpoint. There's plenty of people teaching that shit, but understanding it from a defense counter wrestling standpoint. Okay, let's go here. So Robin says, integration is a smoother concept. I meant balance in mental health recovery. Oh God, dude, you're just triggering me. And I love you, dude. I love these conversations, but you're triggering me. I don't like the word balance. Let me find where you are, dude. Where are you? Here we go. So just like I don't like the word balance, I really don't like the word mental health. I don't like it at all because I do not disagree that people have problems mentally, that they're in serious mental problems. But by medicalizing it, you automatically frame the solution in terms of medicine, drugs, surgery, and that shit don't work. Okay. Now there are actual neurological problems with people like Alzheimer's. I could see that in a slide. I could see that in a blood panel. I could see that in a scan. Those actually, if they fall into neurology, that is science. But most of psychology and psychiatry is absolutely non-scientific, using scientific jargon, inkhorn terms. It's called scientism. It's when something pretends to be scientific and it's not, and uses it for persuasive or rhetorical means, but not actual science. And I get you. I'm sorry. I just had to go off on that. So I apologize. But Yeah, you want to definitely be cool and smooth mentally. I get you, 100%. Robin says, Jake's, thanks for bringing Billy's double wrist lock to the world, man. Yeah, dude. No problem. Let's see. So I'm trying to get everybody here. What states is Scientific Wrestling active in? Well, so we have the first affiliate, which is in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, which is literally across the street from Detroit. Okay, if you understand where that is geographically. So we have a gym, Scientific Wrestling Canada. They were our first affiliate. Our second affiliate is here in Denver, in the South Denver area, known as Aurora. It's at V10 Mixed Martial Arts. Dude, killer group. Fantastic coach. So the coaches at Scientific Wrestling Canada, Marco Carbone and Carmen DeCrisio. And then we've got at here in Denver, in Aurora, Vern Earwood runs this gym. And he's got two guys that are going through the Coaching Cats curriculum right now, Anthony and Nathan. And then we have a second gym in Sterling, Colorado. So we've got one in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, two in Colorado, one in Sterling, which is on the border of Nebraska, and then one in South Denver. Then we've got one in Arizona, in Phoenix. That's Gil Olivas. Then we've got we've got two in Arizona because also Alex Morris just signed on in Prescott, Arizona. Then we've also got a gym in Orlando, Brian Ruscio, badass dude, third degree Gracie Barra, black belt in jiu-jitsu. Also, I think he's a brown belt in the Bang Ludwig, which is in the Bas Rutten lineage for Muay Thai. And he's an assistant coach with Scientific Wrestling. Then we've got Sacramento, Jesse Perez. We've got San Diego. We've got two in San Diego, Luis Ojeda, who's probably the most winningest competitor in the King of Catch Wrestling over the years. And then Sam Crescent, another third degree black belt under Chris Howder, who's also full coach with us. And am I missing anybody? I can't. Oh, then our newest, Morgan Guillory, just signed in Lake Charles, Louisiana, actually the hometown of Grant Cardone, which is kind of cool. He just started. So I hope that helps you, man. So let's see here. Brandon Williams, I want drugs. Okay. That's your resolution, dude? Well, there you go. Just go to a psychiatrist, man. They'll hook you up. I don't recommend it, dude. They also recommended lobotomy and shit. That stuff won't help you. Nate Hickson. Dave Petrone. Yeah, so Dave Petrone doesn't have a gym anymore, but he is in the Scientific Wrestling family. He is like this close to full coach. We just basically have to run him through some rigmarole. But he's amazing, but he's more like touring. He had to give up his gym for a bunch of personal reasons, but he's out touring. Yeah, Dave Petrone, 100%. He's just not an affiliate, so it's not like you can go to his gym, right? But that shit's been blowing up, dude. Scientific Wrestling is blowing up. And who said this about Shoot Pro? Let's see here. Brandon Williams. I want to see. No, that's somebody said here that they think Shoot Pro can blow up. Let's see. See if I can hit it. Yeah, I must have missed it. Oh, no, Nate Hickson said it on Instagram. I think Shoot Pro could blow up. Pro wrestling is massive. Well, that is really my vision here, right? Is that I feel like if I pitch this as competitive professional wrestling, a sport of pro wrestling, not theater, which I have no problem. I did that shit. I did that. I've done grappling. I tried to do everything when I was younger. I'm going to be 50 this year. I feel great, by the way, but there is some mileage issues. But the thing is that I felt that, okay, I mean, this is also born out of 20 years of fucking knocking on doors, being maybe one of the best, not only Grant Cardone guys, but also one of the greatest wrestling salesmen ever. Not in terms of shows, because that's really Shoot Pro is us dipping our toes in, but, selling wrestling. I've done that for 20 years and had a business doing it for 20 years professionally, traveled the world. Because of that door knocking, I realized And I don't, all you guys get on my Instagram and stuff and be like, why are you hating on jujitsu? But I love fucking jujitsu. I'm sick of having to say this, honestly. You guys are fucking like driving me nuts with this. And I understand. It's my fault because I haven't made myself known enough so that people can like stop asking me this question. I love jujitsu. I started out kind of grappling. My first step after seeing UFC 2, because I had already done judo and I had done folk style in Pee-wees. But I never really took them seriously. Like, I don't know what the deal was. I love judo. I actually love judo. Judo is probably my second favorite grappling sport after catch. God, that's hard. Because I do like Greco. I love Greco for takedowns, but judo's great. But I learned how to grip without the gi due to Greco, and that was all Billy Robinson style. Now, anyway, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but I love jiu-jitsu because I'm going to be honest. I knocked on the door forever. Nobody wanted to do. They love to steal the ideas. The twister was the wrestler's guillotine, or the Kimura trap is just a short arm scissor, and fucking tons of it. Now they're using the words side pins and all that. And that's fine. I honestly, it's just more annoying. I don't have a problem with it. In fact, I actually like it a little bit because it's been proving my thesis that I've been trying to push for 20 years about the importance of traditional catch as catch can, pin and submission for the modern grappling game, and particularly for MMA. And so, when people are talking about now leg locks and pins and cradles, I'm just like, dude, I've been doing this shit I've been talking this for 20 years. But I was knocking on doors and they never wanted to give proper credit. And I'm a bit of an academic, and it annoys me when people plagiarize or don't give proper credit. So that's really why I stick my nose into the other people's business about this, and I make these posts. And that's why I even started with the books, because I got sick of people. I could look at these old books and see these guys doing these moves from 100 years ago, and all these people acting like they made it up, they innovated it, like they're geniuses. And I'm just sorry, like that's not true. It's just not true. Okay, it's awesome that that you think you're innovating or whatever, but like you're kind of not, right? So, long story short, I love jiu-jitsu because most of our people come from jiu-jitsu. I can't tell you, like, who really loves this? I've said this before, but man, 3rd degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts love us. I don't know what happens at that degree of fucking whatever belt, but something happens where they realize, shit, I need to actually get really good at takedowns, top control, pinning, cradles, Nelsons, this whole fucking repertoire that exists outside of the jiu-jitsu ecosystem, or traditionally has until they've started trying to co-opt everything. Anyway, but I absolutely love jiu-jitsu. I have no problem with it, but I do also, I have a higher love of integrity and citing sources and passing along information and grappling literacy. So, that's all. People just get salty because they're so invested in this other thing and they don't want me to come along and pop their balloon. Let's see. We've got Robin. Jake, do you think Beowulf used the double wrist lock? I mean, dude, I don't know. It's a poem. I don't know if it's real. Let's see here. I love jiu-jitsu and judo, but I think catch is way more entertaining to watch. Well, and I agree with you as well, Brandon. So, and Nate, I also agree with you that I do think that Shoot Pro can blow up, because the thing is, how many times you guys go to, say, I don't know, a judo tournament, a no-gi tournament, a jiu-jitsu tournament, I might even say folk style tournament, and it's boring. Okay. If you don't know all the tedious rules, like back points or, all the IBJJF shit, positional shit, it's boring. Like if you take your wife or your grandma, they're fucking gonna be on their phone. They're not going to be watching it because it's boring. Right. But catch as catch can, in particular, the rule set that Carl Gotch, dude, this is another amazing thing. We developed this together. I mean, I put most of it together, but I really had oversight by Carl, okay, which is huge. This guy, if you don't know who Carl is, I'm not going to explain it here. You can go Google it, but massive. And to have him part of our organization, also like Billy is a part of it. I mean, it's just amazing. Or Wade. Anyway, it is very exciting. And you guys could go. I have 3 shows that we've done, and you can go watch them. I would fast forward a little bit because they're not edited really. I put them up raw, and I'm in the process of getting them edited. And our future shows, great news today, are I went down to Vern Earwood's gym, V10 MMA, which is hosting our first camp of the year, which is a 6-week camp on Wednesdays, 2 hours every Wednesday. So if you're local and you want to come do it, man, it's going to be great. And it's with a bunch of guys that got MMA fights booked. Anyway, went down to Vern's gym today. He invited me down because we're going to start running Shoot Pro shows out of Vern's gym, like a studio show, just like you see NXT at Full Sail, or you see NWA Power. Those are known as studio shows in pro wrestling, but it gives you a lot more control because you can set things up and leave them set up and really make it look nice. This is a fantastic facility he has. I'm very excited for this for 2023. We're aiming to get our first one off the ground in the first quarter, so hopefully within the next 3 months. And then we've got another one slated for Waterton in upstate New York. So we're working on that. They're going to have 2 great shows. It's amazing. But yeah, the rule set definitely drives the action. It's super fun. And the thing that I like about what I've done, particularly with Shoot Pro Wrestling, is I'm like appealing to the pro wrestling audience. Like, guys, I could love it. You guys have all this variety, all this cool shit. But guess what? What I want is I want a seat at the table for competitive professional wrestling, shoot wrestling. You guys can have your hardcore, fine. You can have your bras and panty matches, fine. You can have your whatever, all your stuff that you guys do. Your there's so many variations. Just let's add Shoot Pro Wrestling to it. We deserve a seat at the table, okay? But then the other thing is I can go over to the MMA world and say, hey, I love MMA. I'm like devoted fan. I love it. I've been in and out of a million gyms coaching on the submission side for wrestling, for MMA. But I'm going to tell you something. There's something that pro wrestling is doing that you guys are missing out on. And I'm not talking about the fake shit. We're not going to do that. We're doing straight matches like bettable. You should be able to bet on these. I want these on in Vegas to be bet on someday. That's my vision, right? However, we can vary the formats. I can do singles matches. I can do tag matches. I did a triple shoot, which is like a triple threat in WWE. We pulled it off. Single man, 3-man singles tag. Fucking nuts. It's so amazing and super entertaining. So to your point, Brandon, yes, I agree. Robin, let's see what he's saying on YouTube. BJJ was born through Maeda battle testing his judo nawaza against catch wrestlers and then spread. Dude, you're an educated person with grappling literacy. Please don't be a pussy and back down. You have to let people know that. It's fucking factual, dude. Like, so I'm very glad that you're bringing that up, man, Robin. That's a fantastic point. Man, we got everybody jumping on here. We got Jonathan Irwin, Alexi Fitness. Who else we got? Matt Moore, MMA. Gregory G21 G-Man. Oh, Jesus. Christopher A. Marks. What's up, guys? All of you, welcome. Brandon Williams. What's he saying here? Bra panty matches just objectify women. Sorry for going SJW, but it's just demeaning. Yeah, I mean, all the fucking Vince McMahon. Did you guys see that 9 Lives of Vince McMahon? What a fucking scumbag. You know, it's hard, though, because I see all these guys getting nailed. You know, it's like we're judging people of the past by our current state, and our current state is a function of the fact that we live in absolute luxury. I mean, dude, the next 3 or 4 years with this AI is going to radically change. We thought the world changed with the internet. Holy shit, AI. Man, that stuff is going to change things even more, where we have more leisure time to nitpick each other on all this behavior, which I don't disagree with you. Like, I'm not into. So let's talk for a second about Andrew Tate, right? Everybody knows about Andrew Tate. I got a whole original take on this dude. And you could Google it yourself and see if you agree with me. And the thing is like, I'm married. I love my wife. My mother lives with us, and I have a daughter. So all this shit about demeaning women, I am not into. I'm not like, I have some of my wrestlers. They send me like fucking booty pictures and all this twerking shit. And I'm like, keep it to wrestling. I don't want to see that shit. It's just not, I'm not mad. You can do what you want. I went through a phase when I was a kid and was dumb like that. And it's fine. But I don't like it either. So, and I'm not a social justice warrior, right? What I don't like is all the false accusations, the shit that was going down with the Me Too movement on the flip side of this. There was definitely some shady shit. Now, let's look at this relevant to Andrew Tate, right? So there's some of the things that Andrew Tate talks about that I like. But I'm going to be honest, there's some of the stuff, and I think he's Muslim, if I'm not mistaken, from the religious side about the way he treats the women that I don't like. Okay, I mean, I've heard my daughter. We were having a discussion about this. She's almost 16. She hates him, but then my 10-year-old son loves him. So I'm like, okay, I need to learn about this guy. He's so polarizing. And there is a lot that I do like that he talks about, like some of the stuff about the Matrix and making money and being positive for men, having like not having masculinity, just being de facto bad, but actually maybe there are really fantastic things. I like all that stuff. The way he talks about women, like my daughter brought up some stuff about him talking about how women are property, and that's bullshit. I think that's stupid. However, this whole case thing where he's been picked up, there's so much bullshit here. Like, I find it kind of interesting that just as we pay over $1 trillion to the Ukraine or whoever the fuck is in that bill, that all of a sudden now that guy gets arrested because he's been creating a stink. However, I have a different take. Okay. I don't know what he's done. So when people ask me like, oh, what's your view? I'm like, I don't fucking know. We got to wait till the evidence actually plays out. Because what if he did, like human trafficking or whatever he's guilty of? Then fuck, dude. If he did it, he needs to really be held accountable, right? However, we need to wait because it's just an accusation. Fucking accusations are cheap. Proof is dear, right? So I'm a huge fan of the presumption of innocence, especially we need to bring that back here in the United States because we only have 5% of the world's population in the United States. Only 5%. If you had a pie chart, that's a little tiny sliver. But we have 25% of the world's prison population. That is a big problem. And a lot of that is because we don't respect the presumption of innocence. And in my mind, I think that the big arbiter of what is right and wrong, basically, is consent and property ownership. But consent when it comes to individuals, right? So you have to be able to prove this shit. And my take on Andrew Tate is this. I think it's pro wrestling. Maybe I'm jaded because I think it might be fake because there are videos out there, and I'll post it somewhere on one of my socials, about him talking about how his dad was an asset for the CIA. And he's bragging about it. Oh, he learned Russian in 2 weeks and he's the greatest and blah, blah, blah. Great. Maybe. I don't know. But, okay, so your dad was a CIA asset and now you're being roped in to this narrative that has to do with all this nonsense that, I mean, we just learned that the CIA very likely assassinated one of our presidents. And now this guy is the son of it. Something is fucking fishy with it. Do you understand? Like, also, like, why are we going after him when there are allegations? And then this is a guy who does have a lot of money. And I think he's married or has several different women that he has children with. Like, really? Does he really need to, like, traffic? I mean, or maybe women are actually, like, he's a fit guy. I'm just being real here. Like, it doesn't make sense. And what about all the Epstein shit? Like, if we're going after him, we have a list of people you can actually go after. Like, Giselle and fucking Epstein, like, they all got convicted. Where's the rest of the people? Why can't we, what are you doing? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, I don't want to get too far off. Tim Feligy says, bring Shoe Pro to the East Coast. Us PA guys love it, dude. So I am working, hopefully by summer, to have a show done in upstate New York, which should not be far for you guys. We have a large pro wrestling company, Great North Wrestling. Jack Kilby is the promoter, and he is bringing in. We're going to run a 4-man light heavyweight tournament on that show. Should be amazing. Nate Hickson, Andrew Tate, Top G. Yeah, dude. The whole thing about him being in the family of CIA or whatever, that automatically makes me wonder if any of it is even any real. Just being real. That's my opinion. Let's go. We've got Brandon Williams. Fun fact, JP Morgan is getting sued by Epstein victims. Dude, shoot me a link on that. I'd love to know a little bit more about that. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Nate Hinkson. I'd compete in Shoot Pro in PA or New York. I bet you would, dude. I got a list of people that want to get on the roster. But honestly, right now, we are only picking guys that are either locals or, and even if you're local, you have to have a strong wrestling and submission background, as well as, one of our bookers knows a bunch of UFC guys, and we're stoked because there is no problem. There's in their non-compete, they can enter all grappling. So we're going to have some UFC fighters coming in and doing pure grappling. They don't have to get punched or kicked or anything like that. Brandon Williams, how do I send you a link? Well, I don't know, man. You can either post the link in the comments on here, or you can DM me. You can also find me on Instagram at Scientific Wrestling or at Ask Coach Jake, or Twitter at Jake Shannon. Those are all different ways that you can hit me up. So let's see here. Robin says, Shudo is amazing. Jake, are you familiar with submission arts wrestling founded in Japan by Hidetaka Aso? Yes. Is that from Karl Gotch Wrestling? Okay. So Shuto is amazing. Shuto, for those of you who don't know, is really kind of the first big MMA organization in Japan. Predates Pancrase, predates UFC, put out by Sayama, who's also known as Tiger Mask. Okay. Brilliant guy, tough guy, legitimate student of Karl Gotch. In fact, he's so talented physically. You go watch the old Tiger Mask Sayama matches. That guy is tough. He's mean. In fact, Karl, though, disowned him. Not over technique. He thought he was a good guy. But Karl went to one of his dojos and saw Sayama basically abusing one of his students physically. And Karl was done with it. He was like, dude, you're just a fucking bully. And he was done. I think that might be on some of the tapes over at karlgotch.com. That's a story he told me. Now, submission arts wrestling, I think it's cool. Hidetaka Aso Submission Bible. I had that DVD tape. I had it when it was on VHS tape in the 90s. It came after Submission Master. Was definitely, I don't want to say a ripoff, but it was like a ripoff of Submission Master, which was done in 93 by Fujiwara. So Sayama, legitimate, verifiable, no question about him being a Karl Gotch student. Fujiwara, in fact, I have it on tape that he was the only guy that Karl Gotch said that you should learn from. Fujiwara. I asked him 10 times, because I'm trying to figure out where I can learn. This is back when he was mentoring me in the early 2000s. And he was like, Fujiwara was my best student. He's the only person that really knows my system. That's the only guy that you should train with. Okay. I asked him about Hidetaka Aso. He never even remembered the guy. He doesn't know who he is. I don't know. He obviously must have trained with him or something. Might have gone to a couple of classes, like how sometimes people go to a camp or two with Billy and then act like they know what they're talking about. Same with Karl, dude. There's a lot of people that love to use his name, and dude, if he was alive, he still at 75 would beat the shit out of them. They know who they are, but of course they all wait until they're dead. It's really frustrating for me. Again, from an integrity standpoint, it's just bullshit. Now, Hidetaka Aso, I love the Submission Bible. One of my friends, Mike Martell, is a big, he's a black belt. He gave me an honorary brown belt or something, I think, in it. But I don't know. Carl, I asked Carl. Carl didn't know who he was. Also says he trained with him. I'll take him at his word. I've never seen him do anything else nefarious, so I don't know. But it's good stuff. I love Submission Bible. I used to use that stuff all the time. So Brandon says, I got Instagram. I'll send you a link. Thanks, dude. And Brandon William, Eric Paulson was a Shudo guy. Yeah, not just a Shudo guy. I think he was middleweight champ. I think he might have been the first foreigner to be middleweight champ. Eric, I love Eric Paulson. First of all, nicest guy you'll ever meet. So nice. Such a good dude. But man, that guy knows so much about martial arts. Because, he was like, he definitely, what I think he did that was really smart business-wise is he stayed plugged in to that whole Jeet Kune Do market, which was like proto-MMA. It was this idea, right? Like not for fighting, like sports and stuff, but in terms of philosophy, like integrate everything. And I think Eric did a genius job really plugging himself in with CSW and doing that. Eric, totally brilliant guy. Loves like all that Shudo stuff. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really fantastic. Robin says, I have Fujiwara's BJJ Fanatics video. Yeah, I mean, dude, the guy's sick. He's got some other ones like Budo, Japanese Budo or something. I can't remember. What's the guy's name? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Anyway, I thought Saw was similar to the highest Tom system, like Gokor. Yeah, and I love Gokor. I actually trained at Gene and Gokor's gym in North Hollywood for about 9 months back in, I think it was 2004 as I was prepping for a Grappler's Quest. Love those guys, man. Those guys are straight assassins. They are definitely very hybrid, right? Gene had a lot of catch that he taught to Gokor. Gokor obviously had a lot of Sambo and Judo, and then clearly Gene had a shit ton of Judo. Great guys. Great gym. Yeah, Eric Paulson, Gokor, 100%. Get 100% my stamp. Like, yes. If you can't train with us, train with them or do both, because I really love everything both of those groups are doing. Today I started studying the killer cradles from Wade's seminar. Yeah, dude. Cradles are amazing. Highest percentage pin in wrestling. And, and this is something that I really like about like Neil Melanson and Dave Patron. So, Dave Patron went to some like summer camps when he was a kid with Wade. And Neil, I hooked him and Wade up on a camp. And I think Wade really saw this cradle and was like, shit, both of those dudes, super creative, expanded on it, really innovated, really showed like how awesome the cradle is. Now, I came to it because Alex Stowell is a good friend of mine. He lives in Venice. He and his wife, known him forever. When I was living down in Venice, we were working out and wrestling. I think he's a Ray Diogo or whatever, black belt. And 2000, this had to be 2003, and we were wrestling. And he's a good grappler, but he got me in a cradle, and I was like, dude, never again. And I decided to learn everything, and that's when I went to Wade, number one, right? Anyway, that is Nate Hinkson says, does Wade Chalice coach still? Yeah, dude, he's going to be, him and Josh Barnett are coaching our last camp of spring in Pinion Hills, out in the Mojave Desert, dude, at the martial arts retreat, Pinion Hills Labyrinth Martial Arts Retreat. Go to Coaching Catch, book it, because that sucker's going to sell out. There will not be a lot of room, because that's out in the Mojave. There's not a lot of space, not a lot of hotels. I'm telling you, man, do not waste your time. Now, if you're smart and you actually want to get good, if you're just going to say, oh, I trained with Josh and took some pictures, that's cool too, man. That's awesome. But if you actually want to get good, sign up for the season pass, get all your shit tight, and you need to repeat, dude, because grappling is a perishable skill. That's why we do the camps like that. And after your first one, the price drops to $250 forever. You're locked in, right? So anyway, to your answer, Nate, yeah, he's going to be at the last camp that we have, which is in May, out in Pinion Hills. Go to coachingcatch.com check it out. Robin on YouTube says, Eric Paulson's incredible. I love his videos, instructionals, and interview. I want to learn that. Combatives and grappling like that. Too old to compete much longer. Yeah, you guys, dude, there's a fucking expiration date on this shit. Now, you could coach forever. That's what I had to do when I had my injuries. What's up, Lyrically Indigenous? Happy to see you again. Yeah, love Eric, love Melanson, obviously Josh Barnett. Neil Melanson's videos are such a catalyst for the mind. Yeah, I love him, dude. He's a good friend. He's a cool dude. And again, out of the highest on lineage. I've only been doing BJJ for like a year and 6 months. My grappling went to another level after I found Eric Paulson and Machado like 3 months. Yeah, Brandon, come to our camp, dude. Come to our camp. I'll blow your mind. And I don't discount what you're saying. Yeah, I'm sure you improved a lot. Eric's a genius. But come to our camp, dude. My number one feedback is people come to my camp and they go back to their gym and they email me like, dude, I'm tapping the black belts and brown belts. And they're like blue belts and shit. And if they're wrestlers, they're white belts and they're going in there and just like the black belts are running, hiding in the back and letting everybody else wrestle and try to tire them out before they even take a spin. Nate Hinkson, what's your best online material you produced? I don't know, dude, because I don't know. That is to be judged maybe by people who have watched all my stuff. To me, I think maybe the most comprehensive thing would be the BJJ Fanatics material. They were blown away. Like me and Sam went in there, shot the whole thing in one take. They're like, holy shit, you just did like 70 techniques. I'm like, yeah, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been doing this. I paid my fucking dues, bro. But they were like, slow it down. We can make 20 DVDs. I'm like, no, I'm going to do all of it. So I think, I'm pretty proud of that one. Has a ton of workable technique. You can see the testimonials on the site. I like the War Catch Wrestling. That is basically an online course. I mentioned my buddy Adam Underhill earlier in the call. He popped on my feed saying, hey, but he helped me build out this online course. That's all of the material that we could find that I produced with Billy, which is a fuck ton. And that's at War Catch Wrestling, WAR catchwrestling.com. Man, I don't know. Like the material Pinisher, Killer Cradles, I produced those. I made those with Wade. Legal Pain's great, but I just remastered it and added new material, updated it. I don't know. All the stuff with Billy, some of the stuff with Carl. Like if you go to carlgotch.com, that's a wealth of information. It's all there for free. It's like a podcast. You just click and you can listen to my conversations with Carl like a fly on the wall. I don't know, man. I don't know. Brandon says, I broke a rib though. Been there, done that, dude. I just when I got sick, I had that blood clot in 2019. Prior to COVID, I had nothing to do with it. I don't take any of that shit. Those clotting fucking injections. But I did have a bad blood clot from international travel. It happens. Athletes get it when they combine creatine, which I love creatine, and international travel. And that got me a bad blood clot in my shoulder. Anyway, they scanned me. And they're like, hey, do you know you got a hernia? Your rib on your back is broken. I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. It's not the age, it's the mileage. I feel great otherwise. But, I did a lot of submission grappling, especially back in the day when there wasn't people weren't smart about it. You know how back in the day, when you get into an MMA gym, all the guys have CTE and stuff. Thank God I didn't really go hard on MMA. I did a camp with Randy Couture and Team Quest, the first camp they did back in 2003, I want to say, in Oregon at Team Quest up there. And I was sparring with Ryan Schultz, who's a badass, great wrestler, by the way. Sparring with Ryan Schultz, and he hit me, and I was like a weight class above him, quite taller, a bit taller. But he landed one right on the fucking chin, dude. And I've never been knocked out standing up, and I did not like it. I was like, dude, I just got my master's degree in fucking math. I'm not going to fuck with my brain. So that's when I doubled down and said, I'm just going to do only catch can grappling and that. Lyrically Indigenous says, love all your courses. Thanks, dude. Hey, cheers, man. I'll drink to that. Yeah. So Robin says, Jake, what do you think about catch for civilian combatives? What does that mean? Are you talking like some Krav Maga type of stuff? I'm not a fan of that. Now, I do have many, not for civilians, law enforcement guys. In fact, our first affiliate, which is up in Canada, Windsor, Scientific Wrestling Canada, Coach Bones, Marco Carbone, he is basically the equivalent of like SWAT up there. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like emergency response unit or something like that. And he's been really big on using what's in our curriculum with regards to cuffing and restraint and control. And then also I have a very, very sharp guy named Kevin Coates, who's a sheriff's deputy, and he does a lot of work in the prisons. And we've been working on a lot of stuff for military law enforcement. That is the only stuff that I want to teach. I really try not to teach kids either. I'm like, you want your kid to be good at catch wrestling? Put them through folk style first, then come see me when they're 18. Just being real. I don't really want this shit going out for self-defense because I think that's stupid. Like, I'm gonna fucking stab you. Like, I keep a knife on me, and I'm like, I think a really good blade, I have my concealed carry. Like, dude, that's how you deal with self-defense. Pepper spray, like chemical deterrents. I just personally, I think you're doing a disservice if you are teaching people self-defense. Now, do I think that catch wrestling, like, if somebody messes with me or one of my boys who are into it or somebody else, they're going to fucking kill this person. Like, kill him. Because the moves I teach can kill people. I mean, you know, I do a Gotch style pile driver on some idiot trying to tackle me. They're dead, right? On the concrete. So I'm not worried about it. But, dude, like, the whole self-defense thing is a fucking disaster. And people who sell it and aren't selling concealed carry, weapons, or educating people about, like, dude, this person could have fucking hepatitis or AIDS and bite you and you don't even know. Like, it's just a joke. Like, in fact, I broached this subject with Fujiwara, Yoshiaki Fujiwara Kumicho, a couple years back, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, best thing for self-defense is a good pair of running shoes." That's one of the baddest dudes on the planet. Oh wow, look at my lovely wife. Come in here. I don't know if you could squeeze in here. Look at this, hubba hubba. That's my wife.
Happy New Year!
Yay! Yeah, we're having a New Year's party, having a party for a couple friends and having the kids over and whatnot. So, let's see. Robin replied, no, just self-defense for normal people who want to protect themselves and loved ones with restraint. Yeah, no, dude. I think it's awesome, but I also think that's a problem, dude. I don't like to market it for that. I think that's irresponsible, personally. I don't know if that makes any sense. And I don't mean to take the wind out of your sails. Like, I do think there is value in stuff for, like, Krav Maga. By the way, again, talking about the impact of catch wrestling and its biggest, greatest, most impactful combat sport, martial art sport in general. I already rattled off all the fans, athlete, coaches, promoters involved with all the offshoots of Catch Can. Krav Maga. Okay, Emi Lichtenfeld, right? He's regarded as the founder of Krav Maga. He started out as a wrestler. Folk style, freestyle. Okay, probably freestyle because it was international. Why? So okay, that's kind of tenuous to say Krav Maga, you know, is there's no wrestling. Okay, well, that is true. I went through the Krav Maga worldwide curriculum, was licensed to be a teacher at Krav Maga for a while, and they would do that thing where they grab your head and knee you, and I just cradle them and toss them, and they did not like that shit. But this is the problem: is people today. There are so many people who cross train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or MMA that you go out on the street, dude. You don't know who you're messing with. I don't look like a killer. Wade Chalice don't look like a killer, but you know, I'll fucking kill you if you are gunning for me, dude. If it comes down between me and you, it's gonna be the other guy, right? So, but Emi Lichtenfeld was the second wrestler in his family. His dad, I cannot remember his dad's name, was a carnival wrestler, a catch can wrestler. So now they did take the technique out, but what I do like about Krav that I do think is useful is they taught people to not cower. That if somebody does attack you, to go forward and get in their space. The aggression. I do believe that comes from the catch can. I don't know if that helps. Let's see here. So Robin says, yes, that's part of the problem with martial arts schools in the 80s and 90s, giving false confidence. Dude, all the reality-based self-defense, in my opinion. I think that everybody should probably do some sort of combat sport. And I do think that Krav Maga is smart insofar as they keep most of the training psychological about fighting back. Because a lot of people that are in a street situation, they only fight because they're like a bully. They think the other person is not going to fight back. And when they do, they fucking are like, oh, wow. And they go off to weaker targets. But, dude, like, you know what? I keep my knife or my concealed carry. That's going to end shit. Like, and I don't even have to fucking pull the trigger. Like, I pull out my knife, dude. Unless you're stupid. Like, I'm sorry. You fight a guy. Have you ever fought somebody with a knife? Do you know who Brandon Ruiz is? This is how crazy I am. So before I got all my injuries and shit, like I used to train with Brandon. And this guy is a All-American Greco-Roman wrestler, FILA World Grappling Games heavyweight champion, a weight class above. I used to wrestle with this guy in Salt Lake when I first moved there. And I had this thing called a shock knife. I don't know if you guys have seen it. This is how stupid I am. So not only am I wrestling with this guy, he's a weight class and a better wrestler than me. I held my own, but dude, the guy's a beast. I gave him a shock knife. Dude, that was like the scariest shit in the world. A knife changes everything, especially with a big, tough, scary dude. Like, they'll jack your shit up. There was a Krav Maga guy, like 6'5" at 250. This is Brandon Williams, who came to my local BJJ gym when I was like one straight white belt, and he just ankle locked everyone. Yeah. Well, that was some catch wrestling he was doing. All right, guys, I'm running out of time. I've been on this call for an hour and 7 minutes. I know that all my kids' friends are showing up, so I got to go. I appreciate all you people tuning in today. Remember, we were talking about resolutions. A resolution means to be determined or to be firm. Resolutions don't mean think about it today and then don't do it for the rest of the year. Okay? How did I get to be dude, I am so close to number one for under Grant Cardone. I'm definitely number one in the hybrid grappling catch can space. Number one guy to create the mace belt. Like, how does all that happen? Because I'm fucking resolute. I'm determined. I keep going. Right? Don't get distracted. Determination, not distraction. Right? Like, we have to truly think about this. We live in a world where TikTok is training you. It's training you. If you don't think it's training you, you're stupid. Okay? You need to be aware of this. TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts are training you to have a 7-second attention span. Most problems in the world, if they're going to be solved, require more than 7 seconds of focused intention. Okay? Sometimes it takes years. I've been doing scientific wrestling alone since 2003. That's 20 years, starting in about 6 hours. 20 years of focus. That's how it happens. Hope this helps, guys. Happy New Year to you guys. We got Ryu Ken dropping in. This is how you guys keep me on, because I will answer every comment. Thank you, Coach. I'm also starting to read Plato. Thanks to you. Plato's cool. Aristotle's cool. I like the Stoics in particular. My favorite is Thales, Thales. Brilliant guy. Actually, most of his stuff is relayed by other thinkers. It's not because he's like considered the first modern scientific thinker and mathematician of like everything. Number one. That's what my number one coaching used to be named after, was Thales. So I love that dude. Plato's great though. Plato's got some really cool shit, man. The allegory of the cave. It's kind of like I'm saying with this Andrew Tate shit. What you see on the cave walls may not necessarily be reality. What you see on these screens, dude, with AI and fucking virtual reality and CGI, dude, I wouldn't trust a goddamn thing coming off a screen anymore. Let's see here. Except me, dude. I'll just tell you straight. But you can meet me in person. You can talk to me on the phone. Go to number1coaching.com. You can make an appointment. I'll talk to you. And I'm not AI. Not yet. Brandon, take care, man. I see Ruiz fight on Snake Pit YouTube with Scientific Wrestling. Yeah, he's my friend. That was the World Championships. And that was a great, dude, that was an epic thing, man. Brandon's a beast. Total fucking beast. Watch him on Shoot Pro 2, the tag team tournaments. Do the tag team fighting for me, man. The guy's a badass dude. Nate Hinkson says, congrats on 20 years of Scientific Wrestling. Thank you, Nate. Happy New Year. Likewise, guys. Happy New Year to all you people. I just love you to death. Let's get together in 2023. I will help your business. If you know somebody with a small business, like 10 employees, and they need help, especially sales, you don't have to participate in the recession. I'm going to let you in on a secret. You don't have to participate on the recession if you know how to make money. This is how I became number one in 2023 guy in the licensee department for Cardone. Number one coach. Okay. I will help you there. Same with your grappling. And dude, you should if you go my Instagram for Scientific Wrestling, at Scientific Wrestling on Instagram, scroll and find the posters for the seminars. I got obviously Wade. I got Josh Barnett. I got Billy Scott. Brandon. I'm trying to get Brandon Ruiz to come to the weekend Denver camp. Sam, Jesse, Luis. I mean, dude, this is going to be, and myself, we are going to blow the roof off in spring, dude. You do not want to miss it, and you want to sign up. And if you are going to commit, get the season pass, scientificwrestling.com/season pass, 30% off. It will take you all the way to your assistant coach, or if you're already in your journey, it'll take you well on your way to your full coach, right? So it's an accelerator. I'm not saying you got to do this for 10 years, bro. I have a way of teaching that will accelerate you. And you can read all the testimonials and stuff, man. It's a done deal. So you guys have a happy new year, and I will talk to you guys in 2023. Can you believe it? That's my favorite number, by the way. I'll talk to you guys then.